Hello and welcome to GadgetGuideUSA. Thanks for watching my Blackbox DVR car dash cam product review. As you can see here, I just have it kind of plugged in here. I like to start these off with actual footage shot with the dash cam so you can get a good idea of the quality and the resolution available on the camera, in addition to the sound quality. So I hope you can hear me now. I actually did this once before, but audio recording was off. I'm not sure if it was off by default or I turned it off when I was playing with the settings like I always do. But either way, I guess this is take two. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the air conditioning, A, because I'm hot, and B, because I kind of want you to hear what it sounds like when you have background noise. I mean, most people do, in fact, drive with the air conditioning. It's sitting basically right over the dash, so, I mean, sound might be an issue, and it's something you might want to take care of. In addition, like I said, I'm hot, so... Okay, I hope you enjoyed that footage. It's just the live footage. I actually shot it in 1080p. At the end of this video, there's more 1080p footage, and then I also shot some video in 720p, which was the quality by default. And you can check the end of the video for both of those. I'll add some words or something so you know which is which. So I guess we're going to go ahead and start with the actual unit here. I have a power plug over here, so what I'm going to do is, this actually includes two different ways to power it. Of course, the CLA, which just plugs in through micro USB. It's a pretty standard port for a lot of cameras and things like that. So you plug that in there. It automatically turns on when it detects power. In this case, if I had that plugged into a cigarette lighter, when you start your car, the DVR actually automatically starts. So what we're going to do here, I just have this powered USB extender. Powered from my PC, actually not powered from my PC, powered from a powered USB port not plugged into a PC. The reasoning behind that is that when you plug in a power source, it'll just turn on. When you plug in a PC, it will give you, okay, well that's a bummer. It's giving me the option to plug it into a mass storage. So I definitely don't like that. So what I'm going to do is grab an extension and see if I can't get off that option so we can go through the menu options. Now I have it just powered. I basically have this extension plugged directly into a, like a power brick for a cell phone. And that's so we can actually play with the options. It's actually recording right now. I'm going to click OK, and it will stop recording. So anytime you're recording and you're driving around, if you click OK, it'll automatically stop recording. The unit's mostly plastic. You can see these 12 infrared LEDs right here, and then there's, of course, the camera. I mean, you can see that the unit is really small. I have big hands as well. So the unit is extremely tiny. So once you put it on your windshield, it's really unobtrusive and it's easy to set and forget. It supports up to a 32 gigabyte card. As you can see, I have a card plugged in there. I think it's either a 2 or a 4. It's just something I had laying around. A 16 gigabyte card is about enough to store a little bit over an hour of 1080p video. So if you want to store more than an hour in segments, I would recommend a 32 gigabyte card, which is the maximum for this particular dash cam. So it includes your charging cord. If you plug this other end into a PC, you already saw those options there, that you'll get the option to whether you want to use it as a webcam, and it's actually fantastic as a webcam, or you can use it as a mass transfer device, which basically you plug it in, and if you click that the mass USB button, it'll just plug in like a hard drive to your PC, so you can pull video directly off of it. We're going to go ahead and go over the features here, and that's available in the menu. Actually, we forgot to talk about the box. It's a retail quality box. It's white. It gives you some information. Sorry, I forgot to do that. It gives you a picture of the device. It tells you on the back. G sensor, it's built in. I did test it. We'll talk about that in a second. LCD screen size 1.5 LTPS. It's actually inches, so I guess that's a typo maybe. Languages: Russian, Japanese, French, Italian, German, Spanish, English, Chinese, both simplified and traditional, and Korean. It spits out files in AVI format, which I've tested. It's true. Resolution 1080p, and then that's true as well. What's strange is that instead of the standard 1080p, when I look at the info on my Mac, which it is a Mac, so it doesn't like AVI files very much, it actually says it's 1977 by 977 or some weird number like that. So, but I do admit that AVI files act weird on my Mac. So we have continuous video loop, automatically turns on and off. It supports motion detection, and that motion detection feature worked great. I used it myself. It's a 5 megapixel camera. It takes pictures in JPEG, and you can just click OK at any time to take pictures. It has a mic, built-in stereo, infrared night vision, yada yada yada, to work at 50 or 60 hertz, and it has a 5-volt 800 milliamp power interface. In addition, it has a 240 milliamp Henry battery. So, I mean, that's not going to last a long time without, you know, like a direct power supply, but you can turn it on and set the menu functions without having the car on, so that's handy. In addition, it comes with this mount. It's just your normal slide lock. And so it's not the greatest mount in the world, but it definitely works. I mean, once you get it on there, it doesn't shake off or anything. And I mean, so it's going to stay on. You know, it's not going to fall off the mount while you're driving or anything. It's not the greatest mount in the world. It's made out of plastic, and I mean, it just has the slide on plastic lock in. So, like, you know, it's not the greatest, but it definitely functions. You can adjust it to multiple angles. It has full 360-degree motion. So, I mean, it does have some features, but, you know, it's just a plastic mount. So, you know, not going to exactly throw any parades for it. So now we're going to go ahead and talk about the menu features, and we're just going to go down them real quick. Okay, so it's recording again because I turned it on and off. You can see this red blinking dot. Camera, it gives you some other features, and at the very top here, I don't know if you can see it, it is a tiny screen, but most of the time you watch these videos, you're going to watch it back on a PC or something like that. So the tiny screen is just, it's, you know, it's not great, but it also makes the device small. It has this microphone recording symbol, and that means the audio is on. When the audio is disabled, it had a red slash through it. It gives you the time and date. We'll go over into the menus now. So you can choose the size, which is you're going to be able to choose 720p, VGA, which is 640 by 3 something, I don't know. But that's standard definition. Then you have 720p, 1080p, and 1080 FHD. So we're going to go back. You can choose your exposure. So, you know, it's not really very important during the day, but at night, balancing your exposure for your headlights is important, as is white balance. As is anti-shake, which is what that's made for is so you don't set off the G sensor accidentally, and you can turn that on or off. Loop recording, you can choose how long your loops are. I have it set, it's set to 3 minutes by default, but you can turn it on up. Just to be clear, you need to have loop recording on if you want to be able to delete segments. So basically what segments do is every 3 minutes it starts a new segment, and once your video card gets full, it'll start erasing the oldest segments in order to record new ones. So if you turn loop recording off, you won't have any segments to erase, and eventually your video card will get full. So just keep that in mind. Motion detection is important. That means, like, let's say you come to a complete stop and you're going to sit somewhere and, say, eat lunch for 30 minutes. After a few minutes, without detecting any motion or any movement at all, it'll stop recording to save space on your video card. Record audio, you can turn that on and off. Date stamping, you can set the date, and we've already went over size. If you push the menu button a second time when you're already in the menu, you get a second set of options. That's where you can set the date, you can set the auto power off. Because basically, like, well, we're going to go ahead, I guess we're going to click on auto power off. You can see that how many minutes that it shuts off after it no longer has power. So we're going to go down. It will always automatically shut off when the battery is low, though, just so you know. The G sensor, and what that does is if you get into a wreck or it detects that somebody hit you, it'll automatically lock the video where it detected the G sensor. And that way that even if the car, let's say you get, you know, God forbid, you get carted off to the hospital, at least that if your camera keeps recording, it will not delete a segment that the G sensor was tripped in. So if you get into a wreck, later on you come back to the camera and you'll find that the video is still there, even if the camera was keep recording. It won't erase a locked video. You can turn the beep sound on and off. You can change the backlight. There's plenty of languages. I already went over those. Frequency, 50 hertz if you're not in the United States. I really don't know why it's important. And you can rotate the image because, of course, I had it set like this, where the camera, basically this is stuck to my windshield because of the angle. But if you want to put it like that for whatever reason, you know, I don't know, then you can actually flip the screen so you can watch it, you know, while you're driving. Format is formatting the SD card if you're having any issues. Like if I format an SD card with my Mac, it will not work in this device. So I can plug in a device that I formatted on my Mac, and it will format it in the FAT32 file format, which is what this camera wants. And the default settings, that'll automatically turn everything back to default. So it's got plenty of options, you know, doesn't have a ton of features that are going to blow your mind, but you know, this is a sub $40 dash cam, so you probably shouldn't have like super high expectations of all the features in the world. But you know, for the price, I mean, it gives you plenty of options. We're going to talk about the instruction manual now. It comes in what I assume to be Russian, but could be pretty much any, you know, Northern European language. I'm not sure, but I assume it to be Russian. And then another one I assume to be Chinese. I don't speak or read or write either Chinese or Russian, so I'm not sure. And then now here's the directions in English. So of course I imagine most of my viewers are going to focus that on English, and it gives you a basic breakdown. I mean, the pictures aren't fantastic, but you can get the idea of what the buttons do and what it means. It kind of goes over what to do with the up button, the down button. If you're not filming, you have a zoom. You press up and you can actually see this bar going up. It's actually because it has a digital zoom built in, and that's going to be the main focus for taking pictures and things like that. Once you're actually recording while driving, the up and down keys do not zoom, so keep that in mind. The down button, USB data interface, how to plug it in, has a 120 angle wide angle lens, speaker with video playback, OK button mode. So it just basically gives you a breakdown. It's a well written instruction manual. I know that sounds weird, but I come across instruction manuals that are really horribly written, and this one, it's very straightforward, very easy to understand. It was most likely, it seems like it was written by somebody whose native language is English. That may or may not be true, but that's all I care about is what the actual end results are. It goes over how to set the time and things like that. So it has plenty of features. Honestly, it's not the greatest dash cam in the world, but it's also not the most expensive. For a sub $40 dash cam, it definitely gets the job done. You can tell for yourself in the video resolution and the sound quality. It's not the top of the line or the creme de la creme of dash cams. But for what you're paying for it, it's worth absolutely every penny. I actually use a mini 0806 in my car, but if I didn't have a nice mini 0806 and I just wanted something to make sure that I had a wreck filmed, or to prove in court that I did not in fact run a red light, this will definitely get the job done. Definitely gets a thumbs up from the Gadget Guide for value. So it's something I definitely would recommend if you're looking for a cheap dash cam that gets the job done. Has decent features, and the night vision is okay, but it's once again, it's not going to blow your mind. I do hope you enjoyed my product review today. Comments are always welcome at the bottom of the page. Subscriptions are always appreciated. Thank you. And if you have any specific questions, comments, or suggestions, please email me at GadgetGuideUSA@gmail.com. Thank you for your time.